good.
All right, day 7. Spring's flying by. Had a spirited practice. You know, we're going to be going a pretty good bit for tomorrow. So sometimes the day before a big practice, guys don't come out with the right attitude. But our attitude today. We got after pretty good. Competition-wise, installed a couple new things in our third and short yardage, a couple new pressures that our guys picked up, and competed pretty well. Obviously, things clean up, but all in all, good day, and then looking forward to a really good scrimmage tomorrow.
What are you seeing so far that you like? Anything surprise you, or somebody emerging that you're real pleased with?
Well, I don't know that I'm surprised. You know, we expected our first group, because of all the reps that they have, to be pretty salty, and they have been for the most part. You know, really good retention. Been pleased with the standard they're setting for themselves. You know, demanding that they're running the ball, demanding that others run the ball. Some of the young guys have been flashing. It's great seeing Coin Dang, you know, flash at times. I think Nick Alfton's doing some really good things. You know, making big time improvement from the fall. You know, trying to think who else has shown. Those two guys in particular right now have stood out in my mind.
In the second half of last season, we really saw Tevin Hall kind of come into his own. What do you guys kind of expect from him this season after what he was able to do last year?
Well, I think Tevin this year is going to be a little bit like our defense was a year ago. You know, he didn't play outside linebacker the first year, and you know, that second year after you've been playing a pretty good bit like he did, I think he's going to play with a ton more confidence. I didn't mention him earlier because I expected him to be that way this spring. So he's not surprising me, but he's really playing physical in the run game. He understands coverage much better now. And when you can do that, put it all together, you just play with better confidence and speed. So I anticipate him to make a quantum leap this fall.
How much have you guys managed to install this spring so far?
We've got probably 80% of what we ran last year. You know, week to week we have some game plan things that we won't carry, but we probably got 80% of the stuff that we carry week to week.
You mentioned that you knew what you were going to get from most of your frontline guys. How important is this spring to develop the backup guys, the depth, and start to really develop the depth that you use in the fall?
Well, it's critical. It's critical, and that's really what we're using a lot of the time to do. You know, a year ago at this time, our ones were getting a majority of the reps, and now they're getting some reps, but we're sprinkling the twos in that one group to get those guys feeling like they could, you know, fill on in. So at different times, guys like Evan Weaver, he'll play with the ones, but then we're going to shut him down and let's see what Evan Tattersall can do. Let's see what Coin Dang can do with the ones, and give those guys opportunities to see if they're ready for prime time. And you know, we're doing the same thing with Cam Good and Tevin. Let's see what Nick Alfton and Chinadu can do. And then on the back end, you know, I think Daniel Scott's starting to flash at times, and we need him to. You know, we got a couple older safeties that he's got to be ready to be the next guy up.
So as your program evolves, your defense evolves, getting that extra depth, maybe better depth than you had last year.
I would hope so. We expect it to be, because again, we've got guys that have been in the system now. We're not, you know, just counting on freshmen coming in, and you know that second and third year in a system, guys ought to be playing faster. And when you understand the defense and you've actually had game reps in it, which a bunch of our guys have, that depth becomes a better quality of depth.
What are you expecting out of Ziani this year now that he's been healthy for a while and playing a little bit lighter?
Yeah, no, I expect him to make that next step. 2 years ago, coming out of spring, we were really excited about him. You know, getting the summer and he gets injured and he loses that year, and it took him, you know, a good half, 3/4 of the year before he felt really comfortable. And again, now I expect him to take that step where, hey, I feel like I understand the defense, I can play as fast as possible, and now I can use my natural athletic ability to make plays. He's probably as physically talented as any of our defensive linemen, so I expect him to, you know, have that production to match that athletic ability.
We had a number of high school and other coaches out here today. What's it kind of like going and talking to them about, you know, coaching in general?
Well, it's awesome. We've really got a great turnout from some coaches. Get a chance to exchange ideas. A lot of them are doing some of the things we're doing, so we learn as much from them as they do from us, and we'll get a chance at our clinic here this afternoon to share ideas, some in a formal setting and some in an informal setting. So anything we can do to help the game of football, help players, you know, play the game safer, defensively, try to, you know, show some guys some things that we do to try to slow people down, and then again change ideas, because some people run the same schemes we do, and they may look at something different, say, hey, have you ever done this? And we pick up ideas all the time from each other.
Okay, silence.
All right.
Thanks so much, Coach.
No worries, guys.